joining me for your September 2019 Astro Tarot forecast. I am shuffling the Neo Tarot. I used it last month, but I'm not done with it yet. I wanted to use it again. I'm also wanting to thank you so much for subscribing to this channel and for following me on Instagram. I appreciate your support there. If you haven't, please consider that at Audrey Alison _astrology tarot. I also want to tell you I'm offering a special this month. If you purchase a 45-minute reading for the price of $130, you'll receive a full 60-minute Astro Tarot reading, which is $35 off. So if you haven't done that, it's time to do so between August 30th and September 2nd. It's a Labor Day special, and I can get you scheduled for September. We can go over the last quarter of the year for you. I am shuffling these throughout the astrology, so let's get to it. On the 14th of September, we have a full moon at 21 degrees of Pisces. Gemmy, this is another mutable sign like you, so this closure is afforded to you in the 10th house of career, and it might not be so comfortable. It feels, a square is a little bit harsher than a trine. It's change that can occur because of the friction that there's, the friction that's created can give you the push and the jump to make some change in the area of the 10th house. So there's an awareness in your career sector. And for those of you who aren't leaving career, there's something that needs to be seen and culminated. The moon is at its fullest to shine in something that is illuminated for Gemmy. And it could be a method of how you're approaching career or a better way to work at what you're doing. Also on the 14th, Mercury, your ruling planet, enters Libra until October 3rd, and Venus enters Libra until October 8th. So both of these planets, communication and love and attraction, are in the 5th house of love and romance. So Gemmy, this is looking good for you singles. Well, it's looking good for people in relationship because it takes it down a notch in that if you're married and already in a monogamous relationship, the 5th house brings in the lighthearted romance and fun. What you started in your relationship when you first started to get to know each other. The 5th house are the sparks and the embers of passion. And sometimes when you're married for 10 plus years, 20 years, you don't have that spark as much anymore. Some of you do. Some of you are lucky. You've married well. But sometimes it takes some pushing to get some energy for your relationship. And with both personal planets like Mercury and Venus in the 5th house, this will afford you to be passionate about what you're passionate about. And this sector outside of true love really can relate to children and fun, games, sports, risk-taking, creative projects, entrepreneurial endeavors. So writing your bio and pitching your projects to people and looking for assistance in the creative world, this is really going to benefit you. Venus is also prosperity. If you're looking for people to come on board with what you're working on independently, you have luck with you in this endeavor and a balance to what you're doing because this is all occurring in the sign of Libra. On the 18th, Saturn goes direct at 13 degrees of Capricorn. You're used to Saturn in your 8th house of intimacy. Buzzkill. Gemmy, it's hard to be expressive sexually and intimately. With Saturn here, there are some restrictions and limits to how far you'll go in that area or with whom. So there's a discerning energy here, as there's been for 2 years. And this time frame is no different when Saturn goes direct. He's able to do what he does best in forward motion. So you're only opening up your bedroom door to someone that you feel absolutely trusting, safe with, and that you can trust. and that's Saturn in the 8th house. Pluto's also there, and he is a planet of drainage and loss, and you have spent some time getting old energy off of the body, literally, and some form of celibacy can occur here. The Saturn and Pluto in your 8th house is basically a chastity belt for a little while. And that's a good thing. You're choosy, you're picky. And why not? Why not be picky in that area? You know, you've probably had your heyday, Gemmy. Knowing you, you've had it all doubled up. So take a breather. It's going to be okay. But this is also helping you to restructure and budget resources as well. Taking sex and intimacy out of this area, there's also shared resources, investors, who's investing in you. Budget your money, get on top of where it's coming from, and get ahead in a plan. You could really prepare for next year in this time when Saturn is direct in the 8th house, fiscally. Circle the 21st as a day to not participate in too much of anything if you can get away with it, or just don't take what you're hearing too seriously in your relationship and in your career. Jupiter is at 17 degrees of Sagittarius and will square Neptune at 17 degrees of Pisces on the 21st. They're exact, and this impacts the 7th house of marriage or relationships or business partnerships and the 10th house of career. And how it impacts it is in the form of discord. A square is not harmonious, and Jupiter is the expansion and Neptune is the delusion. So there is a big delusion of grandeur happening, maybe between your relationship and career, or something isn't seen correctly. It's not a day for clarity. It's a day for confusion in these areas. Your relationship could impact how you got to work that day. It could be something very subtle, or vice versa. You have to stay late at work because you were told you needed to, and then you missed the dinner plans, but you really didn't have to be at work. There's a lot of confusion. It's not a day to pitch a concept to your boss. I don't think they're going to be receiving it very well. And it's not a day to talk to your partner about, you know, how you see your relationship going forward. It's a day to seriously chill, CTFO. It's like chill out day. So the 21st, nebulous energy. People aren't even going to be driving around in their right minds. So watch energies on the road, although your 3rd house isn't affected, so I'm not too worried. On the 23rd, no more summer solstice. On the 23rd, it's the autumnal equinox. The sun enters Libra, and the new moon on the 28th is also in the sign of Libra. Both of those energies will be conjunct Mercury and Venus in the 5th house of true love and romance. Gemmy, there's restorative energy in your love sector, and I know you need it, girl. I know you need it, boy. I think that there's a happiness to this. The 5th house is the house of fun and laughter. Gemmy could use some uplifting energy right now. Mars is in Virgo the entire month in the 4th house of home and environment. Gemini is safe in their home environment, fixing it up. There's action there, there's entertaining there. And you're tending to the home, cleaning, getting order in the home, throwing things out that don't serve your purpose anymore, clearing and decluttering the home. That all works. And Mars in the 4th house also symbolizes action and energy towards the mother figure in your life and the connection with them as well. Maybe you're planning something together. Let's see what comes up in your cards. I'm also uploading a full psychic tarot reading for the month of September in just a day or two, probably 2. And you'll have the visual of the cards as well. I know people like that as well. I'm getting all sorts of opinions on YouTube, but The good news is that it's free, so it doesn't matter what I upload. You don't have to pay for it. Okay, so here are your cards, Gemmy, for the month of September. And if you'd like a private reading with me, I'm at audreyalison.com. Take advantage of the special that I'm having from August 30th through September 2nd. Okay, Gemmy, first card. Whoa. The Fool is not foolish. The Fool is taking a risk without knowing what they're jumping into fully, but they're trusting that they can take the jump and that they'll be provided for and protected. It's the first card. It's the 0 out of 78 cards in the tarot. It's a risk taker. It's saying, jump into the unknown and trust that the universe will provide for you. Page of Swords. Hey, Gemmy. What's good? That's the air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is showing up to validate you that the cards know. I know, the energy knows. The cards don't know. They're inanimate objects, but the energy knows. You are here, and this is your reading. This is also a strong time for, outside of the 21st, it's a strong time of communication for Gemini. And when your ruling planet is direct, smooth sailing. Let's see. Wow. The Tower. The walls come tumbling down is what I just heard. Some of you are rebuilding, literally, the home structure with Mars in the 4th. That is, construction and destroying something and rebuilding it. So some of you are taking down the walls of your home, and some of you are actually reprogramming the life path. Taking down the walls is a metaphor in that you're breaking open, you're breaking free. And that was kind of like the Fool, taking a risk, going off on your own. 10 of Cups, for the sake of love. Maybe you're going off to find your true love. The Marriage card. The 10 of Cups is the most fulfilling happiness and intimacy and love. It's emotional. Some of you are meeting marriage partners very unexpectedly. The Tower is like Uranus, like lightning bolt type stuff. Like, whoa, what was that? Did I just meet that person? Could be another air sign. Oh, and you know what else? The Fool in the tarot represents the planet of Uranus. And the Tower also is connected to that, and Pluto. But this combination is saying, bam, look at this brand new thing that just jumped into your life. I think it's in the form of a connection. You also have this. Wow, that's crazy. The 4 of Coins, and I said the 4 walls. This is literally foundational card. 4 walls support where you're living, how you're living, your financial security, trust, Gemmy. I'm gonna cry. I'm literally so emotional on the inside. That's a shock. Trust you're doing the right thing. And if you have to get out of a situation because it ain't you, then honey, it ain't you, and they're gonna miss you. I hope this was helpful. I am wishing you a beautiful month of September. I love you, Gemmy. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.